Wow, j'ai juste laissé un message pour Trump.
Bam, 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 bam. For all of yous who don't know, for the one of you that is here, if you'd like to know what I do, I will tell you, because I will tell you what I do. Otherwise, don't stay around if you're not ready to hear. Just to tell you, I have just been suspended on the TI, the IT, and the K, and the OK. You know, the clock goes tick tock for the clock. The clock tick tock, suspendu. I was suspended for talking about gambling, and I never do, so I'm going to go on YouTube. So I'm not sure who's here, how I can wake the comments up. Live chat. Welcome. Miss Watkins. We're not welding today. No arc. No arc en ciel, right? When you're welding, you make an arc. Is the arc, hold on, let me mark that down. We have the arc in the sky arc. Wait, we have ciel. So we have CIL. Now we have paint. Have you ever heard of creation like, what does this bring to mind? Like when I mention this, what does this bring to mind? And I go, I don't know, 4 tires on a car, a differential, a transmission, people in the car, somebody going somewhere, right? The same thing is with creation. And with every word you speak, a word is an association of characters called letters, one next to the other one that you read. And every letter in the alphabet has a position. And every position gets a number, which is another word. And it can also be written. Imagine there are words that can be, there are numbers that can be written out as words. That's crazy. Imagine if I say number 1, or if I write down number 1, if I say number 1, that's actually number 34. If I say 2, that's number 58. Sorry, it is 58, but it's also 13 when reduced. So how do I get 58 right into 13? Okay, and that's going to tell me that there's a 45 difference. There's 45 plus 13 equals to 58. What happened? What are numbers doing? What are numbers? The numerology world. I say numerology, and I don't even know if it is numerology. I don't know if it's astro-numeric, zodiac, alphabetical science of dots and dashes, maybe the science of Morse code, and how Morse code expanded into telling different stories. How Morse code, when placing the dots in certain areas and giving the instructions of what it is for a use inside the game. But imagine if you had a blank area space. Like this. And then we tapped on the area space. Like this. And then within the area space, they now showed you this. 9 dots. 9 dots. Here I only see 6 dots, but you can see that 1 dot that goes all the way through? Look at that. It's the only 7 of 9. How can we turn around this camera? I don't know. But it's the only 7 of 9. We're all cooking. We're all cooking. You're using your mind, occupying it. I know when you mention cooking, somehow you've created a kitchen. Or you're in a place that already is a kitchen, and that's where you're doing it. When we look at this, we must take into account that, okay, there's 6. What do we do with the center? I'm a child, so I'm going to run this down the center. I'm going to take that and run these three down the center. Not sure if you can see it, right? Let me see if you can see it. You only see the one dot. You can't see the other side. But you can see there's two empty spaces over here. This is your only 7. So when you spin this around, you have 7. You have 3 to the void dot and 2 in a 7 empty space. 3, 2, 7. I spin it again. I have 8 to the empty space. 1 in this dimensional world, the other 6 on the other side. I spin it one more time. The 5 gives me nothing. It gives me the double halo area space on both sides. You see nothing. So what would you call that? Would you call that 544? And if you look at it on this angle, you now can see the shadow in the background. No shadow, shadow. No shadow, shadow. What does that mean? I become the interference of the copper, of the receptor, and the sun, casting a shadow upon the earth. I am the birth that comes in to occupy the area space within the heavens that is set up like this over here. Or is this the heavens? Which part of it? One overlaps the other one. This will be a 2 cube 8. This will be a 3 cube 27. One area voided space is in the dead center, right? What does it mean, dead center? What does it mean, dead center? We also have center ice. We know the pitcher plays from the mound, right? And we also know that we come to the heart of the order. What is the heart of the order? There are multiple matches for the heart of the order, including a baseball term and novel. Come. In baseball, the heart of the order refers to the third, the fourth, the heart of the order, the third, the fourth, the fifth player up to bat. So when you come to the heart of the order, right, if it's at the beginning of the ball game, you would have the first batter, you would have the second batter, and now you come to the heart of the order. Do you understand the way this works? In this schooling that I teach myself, I share with you what I teach myself. I teach myself how to see the differences. And within the differences, I learn what they are. These become the pieces of parts of the story of the situation. That when I need to understand something, I can return back to what it is this equation is. Why do I call it equation? Is it a situation? Why do I call it a situation? What situation are you in? Well, I'm playing baseball and I'm in the heart of the order. When we already know that on a cube, okay, that on a cube of a 9 and 9 area space, once you eliminate 1 and 2, right, you get to 1 between 2 and you become the heart of the order. 3, 3, and 3, right? Now, the thing is, the 3, 3, and 3, that the minute you finish the first part of the heart of the order, there can be 2 outs. There can also be 2 on base. Now, you can also say 2 on. And you know, when you're using on and off and you're coming to the game of craps, right? The 2 on, okay, is not, there is no reference for that. There is a 4 on all the way to a 10 on. They do not have 1, 2, 3. They don't have 1, 2, 3, 11, 12, or 7. Excuse me. Always something new. Okay, I needed to see that I can watch myself because I'm not looking at.
Okay, I needed to see that I can walk. Okay, I needed to see that.
Okay, so haha, I'm just cooking. Oh, I gotta run. From India, I am Punjabi. And where are you from? I'm from Quebec, Canada. I don't know if you're still here. Okay, are you still here? Talented Arun. Miss Watkins, how are you? America, talented Arun. Okay, so let me continue on what I do. The harmonization of frequencies is something I don't know anything about. But what I do know is I know about all the differences that I can possibly learn to understand. And then I can see how the utopia world works before everything gets broken apart. Hey, look, I can give myself hearts. Look at that. Whoa. Whoa, fooling around too much. Just hold on a second. I get a little excited. So we were talking about baseball, right? So there can be 2 on base. They can be on first, on second, on third. Okay, we're on the offense in baseball. So I'm on the offense in baseball, and I got to do another page now. So we have the heart of the order, which is the third, the fourth, and the fifth batter. You notice when I get to the heart of the order, if I only use 3, I'm going to be right here on the cube. I'm going to be on A, B, which is noted to be 1 and 2. When I have 1 and 2, okay, if you can take a look right through, look at that 6 on the other side. Look at that. I use up 6 and 6. 6 and 6 equals to 12, right? But I will only use 8 of 12. Do we want to know why we need 12? Because we need 6 and 1 during the night, and we need 6 and 1 during the day. 6 and 1, 6 and 1. Okay, equals to 7, equals to 7. At the same time you're doing that, right, you can notice, okay, you can notice that it's 6 and 2, because there's 6 and 2 equals to 8, and that is in the void. 6 and 1, 7 equals to in the dot. You have 6 and 1 and 2 equals to a total of 9, which is dot void. You need to do this twice. So you will get the answers. What is twice? You will have 6, 1, and 7, 6, 1, and 7, and you will have 6 and 2, and 6 and 2, and you will have 6, 1, and 2, and 6, 1, and 2. Day and night, the 12 and 12 hours of the AM and the PM, or is it the 16, right, and the 8 hours? Why is it not 12 and 12? Because we're not using all the moons the same way. We're not moving all the moons the same way. Remember, it's man 6. Man 6. I need water. Snake of conscience and the mighty dragon. That every time I get deep within inside myself, it just squeezes everything out of me. Back into the heart of the order. Heart is number 52. I don't like the way it shows it. It's not the right way. Let me see if I can turn the camera around. Okay, let me show you it this way. I'm babysitting the dogs, so that's what's going on right now. So what happens over here is you can see that 1 and 8 equal 9, 2 and 7 equal 9. 9 times 9 equals to 81. Come here. Come here. You want a glove? You already ate my socks. One and 8 equals 9. 2 and 7 equals 9. 9 times 9 is 81. 9 plus 9 is 18. 3 times 9 is 27. So 9 and 9 creates 81 and 18. And then 3 by 9 equals to 27. 27, 27, 27 is Venus, the square house, the house of bait, where 1 lives inside of 8. The only reason for 9 is you live within the 9, plus your communication center hooked up to Jesus's energy and in the matter, right? In which you unveil the ghost, the Holy Ghost, the godly ghost, the conscience that keeps you alive for the motherboard you have been plugged in. 3, 4, and 5, the creation on the delta angle in the E world, the sun world, the sun and the moon, your 34 is going to be your alternate current or your direct current to what was your alternate current, the AC/DC, where you stand. To understand, in order to know, we must learn what is, I call the skeleton alphabet, the skeleton, the skull and bones hidden right in front of you. Okay, all the fossils of the world of dots and dashes just in coordinate spaces, telling you stories beyond your imagination. Because it's so possible that it's so impossible because it's way too easy. The easiest game in the world taught to me was the boringest game in the world. And now I found it to be the most interesting. And I always called the game backwards. I called it Fish Upon a Wish. And it was wish upon a fish of some sort, where you're trying to call out, do you have any threes? And I would go, no. Do you have any threes? And I go, yeah, I do. I have to give you my three, and whoever guesses the other person's cards. The fish is also going to be what gives you a good permanent, right? Just put the plural of it. Instead of perm, it becomes the S perm, right? At the end of the word of S perm is M, E, and R. It's the matter and energy, the E and the M in my game. Also can be noted for Earth and Mars, the element of metal. The M is also noted to be what is 4, 5, and 6. The M letter. Design the M letter, okay, on a constricted paper. Obligations. You must either draw on a straight line, up and down, east and west, or on an angle, corner to corner. That's the only way you can do it. You can put dots and lines and that's all. So if I draw from here to here, what's the story? If I draw from here to here, what's the story? If my starting position is over here, what's the story? What will I start? Will I use one of those, what is it, a compass thing that you turn around? What will I use to start from this position? How will I reach out my arm, right? How did Adam give Eve a rib? A floating rib, right? On the cage. Floating rib on the cage. Can a cage be round? Is it just a rib cage? What does a rib cage looks like? It's a rib cage. Why is it a rib cage? Is it because the rib curves in, right? And when you curve in the rib, you do know that the rib, okay, also okay, what letter would look more like the rib cage? Wouldn't it be that? Or would it be that, looking like an arc? Would an arc be a rib cage? We'd have to think about that. I do know inside a rib is 9, 9, and 2. That's what's inside a rib. And when I use number 2 in this, I talk about the Mars moons. When I talk about 9, I could be talking about birth, but I know in order to get to 9, which looks like 6, I already know that 1 is inside of 8. It is the 9th element. It is in the first position as it is in the 9th position. It is 1 and 8, or you will use 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then the 9th one will be alone. Or you will go 2, 3, 4. Let me get my next paper. We're gonna get back to the baseball in the heart of the order in a minute. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then we have equals to 36. And then we have plus 9. Or we have 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2 equals to 44 plus 1. This is what your basic 10 world looks like. And I hate this camera that doesn't let me turn this around. How can I turn that around? Let me read about this here. Whoop. I'm going to look on this and I'm doing a live with my camera facing me and it won't, I need to mirror the pictures. Can I do it? Maybe I can do it from this menu here. Hold on a second. Um, Let me take a look here. Hold on. How do I do this? Oh, my camera. My camera. Yes, my camera here. No, it's not doing it. What about here? No, not doing it. What about this? Oh, screen mirroring. Let me see if I can do this. Just give me a second. Just give me a second here. Yeah, so they sort of like put me on the big TikTok ban, you know, TikTok the clock there. Well, they suspended me for a few days for talking about what they say was GAMBLING. All right, well, it's not working, so we're just going to take that away. And let me see what this is. Focus. No. This over here. No, it's not working here. Oh, what was that over here? 1 second. No, okay, I don't have that here. 1 second. Okay. Okay, perfect. So where was I with this? Yes. Sorry, it's backwards. I don't really like it. Maybe we can turn the camera around. Okay, let me see the iPad is far, far, far from me. So when I turn it around, so what we do is if we count up, we count to 8, we get 36. When we count down, we count over, we get 44, right? The 1 and the 9 will connect the 1 letter, which is reduced to what is the ACE letter, is going to be connecting 2 systems, right? The 9 is your birth. The 9 is within 2 systems. It's on both sides of 2 systems. You live in between the bricks. You are the mortar between the bricks. When you're sleeping, you put your head in the bricks or the moons of Mars. And when you're awake, it becomes the lunar moon working between 2 systems. Your area space, division between night and day, is over here. This will become 16 and 8. It'll be 24 at the dividing gate. This one will be 27 living within the dividing gates. 3 times 6, oh, the curve. Yes, I like that, the curve ball. I'm going to have to write that down. Curve, cuve, curve. Yes, cuivre. CU, 33954. So 33954, right? It's talking about your life to birth, your life to light within the sun. Okay, it says curve. The R letter, okay, now it's the small r, right? So it's in position 18, reverse 9, or it is in the 44th position, the R. So it tells me right away that within the R, it's going both ways. Let me explain this. Let me explain this. I'm going to show you the R letter. Does everybody see the R letter? Let me do this again. Do you see the R letter? Or how about the R letter? In which what happens over here, it becomes like this. It's the R letter here. It's the R letter here. It's the 18th letter. It runs on the 180-degree plane, separating this side from this side. They call it the diameter. Meter, right? They call it the diameter. See the AI, that's your 9 and 1. You bring both worlds together, the world of the divided sun. When you bring in 9, because your 90 is right over here. Your 90-degree angle is right over here. Here's one wing, and here's another wing. On one wing, did I get that right? 3, 6, and 9. And over here, is 1, 4, and 7. Well, I did it wrong. Well, it's coming out wrong. It should be the opposite way, but regardless, 1, 4, and 7 on one side, 3, 6, and 9. And you are this is what we are. We're 2, 5, and 8. Bah, bah. You're the Hebrew. You're the Hebrew. That's what it shows you here, R and R. It's two cassettes coming together. There you are. You are the eye, one on each side. Your nose is split between the two sides. They each get an ear. You become the student in the heavens. The reason the 8 and the 9 are eaten by the 7 is because you are the Luna, 7th gate, connected with your curly hair electric, pulling into the 2 moons of Mars. The Luna, Earth, Moon, your 9 and 9, 18 high, running on the cross. Right over here. Elements in creation are right in front of us. This is high. This is 18 going around 1. This, like this. If I wanted to say my R letter is me standing up, I'd put it this way. Well, what about to the right and to the left? I'm going to go 2, 5, and 8 with 3, 6, and 9, and 2, 5, and 8 with 1, 4, and 7. So let me show you this. Let me do this again. One, 7, and 4 with 3, 6, and 9. The other is 2, 8, and 5. When we connect the 2, 8, and 5, we end up with this. This will be broken up into 3 different stars, 3 different star triangles. When you have your 3 different star triangles, we have connected 6 numbers and 6 numbers and 6 numbers. We have connected 18. We will use 6 and 6, 6 and 6, or 6 and 6. Let me show you. So when the star system gets connected like this, okay, when the star system gets connected, let me show you from this side, okay? When the star system gets connected, I'm going to do this a little bit better. I think I have a picture, so let me, just give me a second. The puck is a diameter, yes, the puck is a diameter. There are 3 pucks. There are 9 different pucks actually on Rubik's Cube, or different ways to look at the pucks on Rubik's Cube. Rubik's Cube, when it's all cut out, they're all pucks, right? There's basic 3 of them. Let me just see something. All media. Okay, I got it here. Here's one of them, right? See the cube that's inside? See the way the cube is within the star of all the buildings? You see those 6 buildings? Look at those buildings as interdimensional buildings, right? You see the 4 blue ones, right? You see this over here? Let me see. You see these? See these army stripes, right? Well, those army stripes also can be known as buildings. There's buildings connected to each one. You cannot ski. How do you see something? You see it on the highways, these different stripes, but they're talking about the building. You have 2 stripes or 3 stripes. Each stripe is representing how many floors of a building. You know, when you have general, right? See the way it works within that? Each stripe would be a whole square area space in that building. Just give me a second here. There's another piece I wanted to show you with here I was sitting down with some of my friends. I used to work with these guys. You know, this is our rotation, 3, 3, and 3, the gestation. I think it's the 3 months, 3 weeks, 3 days of the pigs. You know about that? Or how about different sequences, the way our numbers set up? Just 1 second. Just want to show you a different way our numbers are set up. See that number 1 multiplier? 1 times 1 is 1. 2 times 1 is 2. 3 times 3 is 3. Why did I stop? Because I stopped on A, B, C. Then I went to 4, 5, and 6. Then 7, 8, and 9. And then I went to the times 5 table, times 3 table over here, right? 1 times 3, 2 times 3, etc. And then the multiplication and the addition and all the equations that go along with the simpletons of 9 numbers. 1 times 9, 1 plus 9. 1 times 9, 1 plus 9. 4 times 9 is 36. 3 and 6 is 9. In between 4, 5, and 6, the federation, or the letter M, is going to express male and female. And when you get to number 63 at the 7th gate, it's going to express the male again without the female. The female is only within the sun of creation, but is not within the gateway or the heavens or the 99, 81. 81 will represent Venus, okay, made by 99. 72, okay, is going to have the 7th gate within the house that is created, which is going to become what we are in that house. The 7th gate is within the house of Venus. 1 and 2 representing the Earth, Luna, and the Mars, Deimos and Phobos, the 2 moons of Mars, only come into fruition at the 7th gate. 7 times 9 equaling to 63. When you come into 9 times 6 and 9 times 5, they live together. They are the reflective of our creation, which is located right over here. Well, yeah, 2 and 1 on the dice. We live at the heavens gate, which is in the voided area right here. What it means, if you take a look closely onto that 2, all that blank area space, look into those eyes. And the other one becomes the one separating the heavens, which is located 7, 8, and 9, because the 9, okay, the 9 position. Now don't knock my block off because the 9 position is right over here. The 8 areas that circumference this, and I'm assuming that when you get into this area, it becomes 1.5 times the size. 1 times the size because from here, this is the half area. So we must go 1.5 times the size of 8. So it will become 12. 8 will become 12. We're only showing within the house. We're not showing on the outside of the house. The 2 moons that will be implicated through 1 eye over here and 1 foot down here, whether you come into the world or not, right? It's somewhere up here and down here. I'm not gonna, or I can be between the ears right now. I like to look at it this way just because I'm not prepared to give the answer or whatever it is. I have to think about it, right? I want to go back and I'm going to explain this. I wish I would. How can I take a picture? I'm going to take a picture and see if I can take a picture backwards. Let me see. Because I want to take a picture of this and I want to show it to you properly. Okay. I need to see this backwards. How do I mirror a picture in my photo album? Use the phone app. Okay. And then, oh, view more. Okay, Video Pro, Expert, slow motion, hyperlapse, dual take, food, panorama. View more. No. Hyperlapse, portrait. Okay, I'm not finding it. I'm not finding it. Just 1 sec, maybe I can just, let me see it again. Here, no, here. Lasso spot, erase color, mix, style. No, I don't know what it is. I need an app to take a mirrored picture. I don't like to share all my information around, and sorry. Woman wasn't made for man. Help meet. Well, do you want to help the meat, eh? Woman wasn't made for man. Woman wasn't made for man. You know what? When it comes to plumbing and electrical, right? You twist them together, right? They go together, right? Now, sorry, the pigs, you put a mavette, which is also noted to be the pigs, that when you take 2 wires, right, you twist them together. So twist, I like to think of it as the DNA. Is that the male and the female? No, that would be 2 males. When you insert something into the other, would that be the female part? You insert it into the female, but can you insert 2 females into each other? Or do you absolutely need a phalange in order to get them across, right? So we have to understand electricity, right? We have to understand all our tools. Okay, so I need to turn this camera around. Gallery frames, remove add settings, language, no. No. Oh boy, it wants to give me, I don't want it anywhere. Whoop. Hold on a second, I gotta figure out how this works. How can I not turn the camera around? Okay, I need to turn the camera around. It won't turn the camera around. What do I do? Okay, I'm going to take a picture. Just give me a second. Okay, I'm just going to take the picture this way. How do I do it? Okay, nothing's working. I'm just getting frustrated. Okay, it ain't working. So it's going to be the same thing, right? Yeah, it's the same thing. So I'm going to do my best to explain it, okay? I'm going to do my best to explain it. Let me just get some stuff behind here so we can. Okay, so what it is you're going to have the face of this calculator over here, right? 1 through 9, okay? And this is where 7, 8, and 9, where the star, the 6th star comes in. So in the 6th star, you have A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I. Okay? And when you look at it here, you have A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I. But the entire alphabet fits dimensionally on here. Everything that is here becomes in the 10th world, becomes the end of the wing, becomes the flip side of the coin. Right? And then on this one, you'll flip the coin back over again. So on this one over here, number 13 is going to fit here, which is your birth into the mirror world. You're going to connect that birth between 9 and 1 equals to 10 into the star. 9 and 4, 13, 1 and 3 is 4 into the mirror world. 9 and 7, 16 into the 7th gate, the one lunar moon. Here, we play inside the house. Here is the house, the 8 areas that surround the 1 area. Does your head go up over here, inside the heart of the E world? This is actually the heart in reality. When you add up all these numbers, right, it's going to equal to 45. 45 divided by 9 is 5. We come here as 6. We end up with 1 lunar moon that never multiplies, becomes itself. It's itself everywhere because it plays from the heart, from the E world. The E world is what is this. This 5 is actually going to connect to the 4 corners and itself. It's going to be the representation of this numeric value and what this does. This tells you 1, 2, 3, 4 equals to 10, 1 plus 0 equals to 1. It shows you how the 9 and 1 connect 10, the 8 and 2 connect 10, the 3 and 7 connect 10, and the 4 and 6 connect 10. We're always passing through here. We only allow up to 3 connects into the 10th world. And you pass the E 3 times, 5, 10, 15. The 15th letter is O. It becomes O, Canada. Ho, 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 in the heavens of 1 lunar moon, connected to ho, 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 the moons of Mars, right? You only need to know where these elbows are at this end, and you know the transition is going the other way. The same way the differential, the motor and everything is hooked up. We're hooked up in the same way. Everything was made. It worked that way there. It works that way here. The zodiac is a continuation of the body of all. Humane. The humane becomes into the IT system of the sun. It's the hand of light. It is one of the wings. The H letter, okay, the H letter is right over here. It's standing up between this side and this side. It's an extension of understanding this over here. The A is showing you the center, to the left, and to the right, and to 1 1/2 of what you are, because you are the life and you are the half-life. You are part of that Saturn star. Within Earth is rat, as within Saturn is rat. Saturn is known to be the dark star. Saturn 6 and Earth 3, your base of alpha beta creation in the heaven's gate, 8 and 7, because of the virtue of 1 goes along with 8 and 2 goes along with 7, we become the 11th creation. But our 11th creation doesn't go out to say with what 3 is. When we get to that 11, we become the striped 11. When we talk about 11, remember the number 3. 1 times 1, 1 plus 1 will create 1 and 2 equals to 3. Now, when I mentioned 1 and 2 before, okay, when I mentioned 1 and 2 before, it's because 1 and 2 go along with 7 and 8. It's 1 with 8 areas, and it's 2 with 7 areas. 1 and 8, 2 and 7. 7 and 8 come to play the role in the void of what is our base creation, 3 and 6, the creation of, like I'm going to say, the 360 of man. The 7 times 52 equals to the 760, and that 52 is going to be the heart, the rabbit, the communication. It's going to be 7, which is going to represent Earth. It's going to represent the king. At the same time, it's going to create the divided ace sun by the virtue of 25. 2 times 5 equals to 10. 2 plus 5 equals to 7. 7 and 10. We have to understand that 7 and 10 play a role together right over here. When you put the 7 and the 10 together, the 7 and the 1 in the artwork looks like the 4. The 10, okay, is the backbone brace, okay, where you're sitting on the cross in the E position, at the heart position. That 5 eventually will change its skin color, okay, and it will become number 74. The heart number 5 is 74. The heart number 5 gets changed into 29. The heart number 5 gets a reduction from 74. It reduces 73, and that's creation of the gate. Sorry, did that wrong? Let me write that down. That 74 gets a reduction over to, we're going to go to 11, which is going to get the reduction over to 2. It'll be 72 and 2 equaling to 74. You've come into creation through the house of Bait. And that is where your 9 times 8 equals to 72, where your 9 times 9 equals 81, 9 plus 9 equals to 18. You just have to write that down, because through the 1881, through Ra, or the sun system, okay, you come down into the house of Bait, where the guidance through the sun system and the lunar moon, lunar light, right? Raul, something to do with Raul, Ronald, coming into the lunar light in the O world. 3 parts of a star equals the hexagon. There is going to be 4 times 6 equals to 24, and there's going to be 1 times 8 equals to 8. That'll leave me with 16 and 8 equaling to 24, okay? Or 120 times 3 equals to 360, or 3 times 20 equals to 60, where I'm going to have the uses of 1 and 5 equaling to 6. That's the Morse setup on ice. I set all these numbers. Okay, I have all my comments are not seem to be showing up. So let me take a look. When I mention these numbers, heaven 11, heaven made women. Okay, okay. So what I was mentioning here, why I mentioned hexagon, is because the word cat is number 24. 2 and 4 equals to 6. Ironically, when you multiply the cat 2 times 4, it equals to 8. So now the dog, which is number 26, is that 8, telling me I can put the cat into the dog. I also know that with 6s and 8, I know that 3/4, okay, of 44. Where do I get these equations? I am so into simple math, okay? Such a simple math equation. When you see the two numbers, that's what they are. Two numbers. They are in the 10th house. They are in the 10th house as well as within the house they are, right? Meaning that when you have a single area unconnected, it becomes 9. When you start connecting the star, it becomes 10. When you use two numbers, I'm assuming you're connecting that star. Using up these two areas equaling to the meaning of using up the 10 position, which you can rise to 99, or you can say to yourself, 2 positions, 1 and 2. Binary code, 1 and 2, this is where your beginning happens, between the 1, between 2. It even happens in binary code, the expression. That when you have 3, that's your basic understanding of your creation. This takes up the 3 sides of 1 cube. The 4th sides automatically tells you 4, 5, and 6. The federation. We spoke earlier on that on the number pad for the telephone, the I and the R is located in the 7. The I is located in the 4. So if you want to see where I just want to make sure that if we want to see where these 7 and 4, we have 1, 4, 7 here, we have 3, 6, 9 over here. But in order for me to reach here, I have to multiply it by 3. By multiplying by 3, I have to jump over this. 3 times 1, boom, 3, but it's a connection between 1 and 2 equals to 3. 3 times 4 is 12, 1 and 2 is 3, boom. I go 1 and 2, jump into 3. 3 by 7 is 21, I go from 2 and 1 and then boom, into 3. They all fit inside of 3. And then we duplicate. 3 times 2, boom, inside of 6, F. 3 times 5, 15, the letter O, boom. 1 and 5 equals to 6, the Mars house quarters. 3 by 8, 24, divided gate, 9 lives of the cat, where your 8 heaven splits into 2 sides, 2 systems, 8 going around 1, 24, 2 and 4 equals to 6. Everything to do about 1, 4, 7 will fit into 3, 6, and 9. And then 3 and 6 fits into 9, where we already discussed. It's 3 and 6 that will create your first 9. Living inside of that is 5 and 4, which is the love, which is the connection, which is the sun. The other thing is there's many ways to do it. We can go like this. I can go, hold on a second, 1, 8, 8, 1, 1, 1, 2, just trying to think of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I'm just trying to create a design, but I don't know if I want to do that. One other thing is to get to the 81 or 18, 9 times 9, 9 plus 9, gets you that. Now, what we do now is, how did we get to 99? Well, it was 1 and 2. Remember 1 and 2. 1 and 2 comes together and creates 3. Inside of this, we have 8 here, we have 7 here, and we have 6 here. The jack fits in over here. The jack is not played in the game. What's played in the game is our lunar moon over here. And what plays in here is the 8th void that is missing. So in our house, we come to the 8th void, but our interruption comes through the 7th gate. Over here, in the house of Venus lies the 7th gate. So the queen is apparently what is number 8, while the king is number 7. The king is playing a role, okay, inside the house of Venus. While the ace, which is supposed to be the singular moon of Luna, which should have been the king, right, is the queen, because there's 8. There's 8 eyes on the queen. There's 7 eyes on the king. There's 6 eyes on the jack. But when you are in birth to be born, in birth to be born, how do you get in birth to be born? How do you become airborne? Not in birth, but airborne, connecting the 10-star system into the house of Bait. 9 and 3 equals to 12. Born into the house, 9 and 4 equals to 13. You're now born into the man moon. With the heart coming into the sun, 9 and 5. When you come into this planet, they line you up right away as 9 and 6, the 9 birth coming on day 6. But then when you come on day 6, you automatically pick up again your 1 and your 2 moon. So it's your 9, 6, and 1, or your 9, 6, and 2. It's funny that they use yod. Okay, they use yod. Remember how they use yod, number 10. Very special. Right? In here, when you come into the planet, you automatically pick up number 7 and number 8. So you're playing at the gateway on the cross, standing in the birth of the heavens, the divided heavens. It's right over here. Look, you can see right through it, right? Here's 7. Look at that. Look at that. Do you see what it is? It's 8 areas that you don't see. It's 6 in the background. And then there's 2 in the center heart. It's talking about the moon. It's talking about the moon. And every other one is talking about the E energy, the energy in the gateway. Look at that. It's going to tell you about T minus counting. 5. T minus counting. What do you see? 5 dots. 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 The only one you don't see, you see 7 dots here and 7 dots here. 5, 5, 5, 5, 7, 7. Egg, moon, electric. Hydroelectric company is going to reside 8 and 7. When you see your G and H, you're seeing this. When you see your P and H, you see this. G and H and P and H, one is 24, the other is 15. They create the word ox. They are number 66. They create the letter F sound in laugh, in pharma, in phobia, in Phobos, Phobos and Demas. Phobos and Demas coming of the sun and the moon. Demas, DEI, coming of the sun cube and the moon. The D and E is going to represent the passage of the sun in Demas. Phobos, okay, it's going to be that number 1 and 5, 15. The 1 and 6 is going to tell me about the half-life, the seventh gate, the passing of the seventh gate. It's going to be talking about the moon. 57, 75, going to be talking about moon electric. I'm going to get a glass of water. Oh, I'm going to check my coffee because I did it an hour ago. I want to see if it's still hot.
Sometimes they out of date and they just post the link and whoever clicks on it first wins. Yeah, you've never seen that? Yeah, that's a thing. If they just post it, and like you click on it, you're through. They don't always schedule like an hour later.
I don't know who's, I'm just making the coffee, so I'm just going to take a breather break, right? And, whoop, yes, leaven, heaven, and 11. It's also even, so the wings are even. When you say the word 11, okay, you have 3 E's.
It's not easy. Remember when Justin and Steph had to open
I just have to leave a message. I can't leave a message from there. Okay, I won't write a message. Okay, so when you say the word L-E-L, right? There's L and there's Al. One is going to be 17, the other is going to be 13. When the letter, the vowel is before the higher number, or the number, when the letter is low on this side of the consonant, I can minus it or add it. The same thing with the letter itself, like the letter P equals to 21. The letter, let me see, M, right, equals to 8. The letter T, right, is equal to 25. Okay, and the reason for this is I'm putting it into a house. Now, if you said to me, well, R sounds like IR, and I say it sounds like AR, well, I'm going to use both of them, 17 and 9. You know, also, if you tell me the letter M, I might say the letter D, because the letter D is the reduction of the M, of one ring, okay? M is 13, 1 and 3 is 4. At the same time, what's going to happen when I star system the M, 1 times 3, 1 plus 3, equals to 3 and 4, M turns into GT. When M turns into GT, it also turns into, it remains the same, sorry, it remains the same within its own. That's ironic. Let me see that again, yes. The M letter, 1 times 3, 1 plus 3, will equal to DC. When it equals to DC, okay, the reverse alphabet is WX. The DC, have a good day. The DC, okay, inverts the cube, C and D. So at the same time they invert the cube, they're going to invert the alphabet, and they will find me the heart of the alphabet, okay, which is 13.5, which is the separation between M and N, and M and N are going to represent the sun and the moon in star math. Also the matter and the energy, okay, just to put that on the side. Let me see. Yes. They're also going to represent what is the E, possibly the northeast. It's also going to represent the C and the D. So this is the reason why. If I see the center of the alphabet of 26 letters is been between M and N, the 13th and the 14th letter. When I use star math is a multiplication and addition. There's another star math, okay, in this where it's not multiplication and addition. It's multiplication times 2, times 3, times 4, and addition. The reason for that is it depends which house it's in. There's usually 4 basic rings, and then there's the inside of the ring and the outside of the ring to understand the area space. And then the inside of the ring and the outside of the ring, the inside of the ring, the outside of the ring. That's the way it works. I need 2 squares. I need to square in the ring, right? That's the total area space, and that'll create like your wave all the way around. Let me see if I can do this over here. So in order to do that, I made my circle first, starting at a center point, right? I made a circle, put a square on the inside, put a square on the outside, put a circle on the inside, and now I've squared and circled in my square area space, creating its own dimension within. At the same time in this area space, okay, I can now have an area space that I can create an X inside of it, a perfect X, because I made the perfect square around the perfect circle around the perfect circle, so I added into dimension. When I add more circles, I can put more squares within them, making more joints. And then I create my cobweb within inside of all these circles. The word inhumane, okay, hue sounding like light. Hue is a hue is an energy of light. And when you say humane, the word main can be like a main artery, a main street, which means a central street. And also in French, it means hand. And if it says hand and light, it would also say DNA and ET and 5G TV. Because all the associations with inside the word and in French is ET. Inside of ET is the reverse T is the reverse G. E is the reverse V. Inside of this combination of letters will give me 7 and 5. One is the energy, okay, one is the energy coming into the moon. Your 5 connecting to 4, energy of the sun coming into the moon. It's connected by 66. 66 is on each side. When it connects the heavens with the number 8 is what it connects to. 66 is connected to 8. 66 is the cat. It is the cat. 66 is Virgo. 66 is Libra. 66 is the snake. 66 is the horse. They're all inverted connections is going to connect the division between the pig and the ram. Between the pig and the ram is going to create that other separation as well. Sorry, the pig and the rat and the ram and Pisces will also make that separation. They are the opposite zodiac signs. So therefore, when you're working with 6s, we have to go from the beginning and from the end. When you reconnect all 6s, they become 67, 76. When you connect all 1s back, they become 13, 31. Did I do that right? 13, 31, yes. Because the 12th zodiac sign is 1 and 2 equals to 3. The first zodiac sign, okay, will then revert into the 12th zodiac sign. So within its own sign reverse, when the pig touches the rat, it'll then be 44. When Libra touches onto Virgo, 7 and 6, 13, 1 and 3 is 4, it will become 44, dividing the day and the night within those two. But everything I understand in the 12 hours a day or in the 24 hours a day gets offset. And when it gets offset, it moves over to the 8th zodiac sign. When it gets offset, there's no 16 zodiac signs in the 24-hour days. So they use each zodiac sign as a 2-hour period within the day. So the 8th zodiac sign is going to count for 16, right? Let me do this. 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, that's good. The 9th, the 10th, the 11th, and the 12th. Now, I'm not doing this in order right now. I'm doing it in the order of Utopia, which means I'm just using number 8. And in this instance, okay, the scorpion is included in this. So the scorpion is what's going to divide the night and day. Maybe the clause is putting the positive and the negative right now. The scorpion is going to be that division between what is the day. The night part is going to be where Sagittarius, Capricorn, Aquarius, and Pisces come in. Now we can also do this in another fashion. I can work with 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, and 12. 2, 4, 6, 8, and 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, and 11, yes. Okay, this is the way it works out. I know it's backwards. These are odds and these are even numbers. These are connected together. These and these are different. Both of these are different. On the roulette has taught me a rule of how to separate my numbers. 10 and 11 are noted to be even numbers. Even though 10, 1 plus 0 equals to 1, it's in the negative range. So if I had to count 8, which 8 would I put together now, right? Would I put the 4th dimensional of 8 in the even house? Or will I put it in the odd house? Or will I put it in the God house? Or will I put it in the Queen's house? Will I put it in the King's house? Or will I put it in the Queen's house? All of a sudden, I have odd for God and King, and Eve for even, and 2 by 2 coming into the duplicate world, the house of Bait, house of the 7th gate. 2 and 7 win a big red sun. Inside the God's house, they own the headless, they own the horsemen with all the center. They own all the moons. 1, 3, and 5. 1, 3, and 5 holds all the moons. The opposite side, 2, 4, and 6 do not. And remember, within 6 is also understood, plays the role of 8 and 7. And another way to see 8 and 7 is right over here. This is the void of 8 and 7. When you turn it around, okay, the number 1 and 6, I'm going to look, it becomes 1, 6, 1, 6, and 2 void. And it also becomes the 8 void. When I turn it this way, okay, when I turn it this way, looking at the 6, it becomes the 6 and 1 and 2 void, right? 1 and 6 and 2 void. 1 and, let me see, 1 and 6 and 2 void. 1 and 6 and 2 void, and the other one is 1. The other one here is going to be the 1 dot and the 8 void, and you're going to go reflection. You're going to go reflection of 6 and 2 void. Okay, that's what your reflection is. Although you have the 8 void, the 1 and the 8 void, the reflection is the 6 dot and the 2 void. This way, okay, it becomes the 6 dot, the 1 reflection, the 8 void, and the 2 void. So this is going to be hard to explain. Do you follow what I'm saying? Is what we see missing here, what is the opposite of it? This is your only true 7. You come into the world in life and born, right? When you're born, you get that automatic. You automatically get the two sides of the moons that you never see. That is Deimos and Phobos. Also can be noted for, oh, well, what do we need Mercury for and Venus? Because the control energy comes from Venus and Mercury. We're going to set this up as the Mercury, and we're going to go 2 moons. And we're going to go Venus, and we're going to go 1 moon. We're going to go Mars, and we're going to go 1 moon. And we're going to go Earth, and we're going to go 2 moon. But Earth only has 1 moon. Right? Or does it only have 1 moon? Because according to this work here, Venus and the 1 moon is 3. Mercury on the 2 moons is 3. Mars becomes number 41. And Earth becomes number 32. A and D and B and C after the death before the Christ. A, D, and B, C after the death and before the Christ. Where did I write that? Yes, I wrote it over here. 1, 2, 3, 4, A, B, C, D, 10, after the death, before the Christ. And for most of you that are here, I'm quite sure you have seen it. X looks like, yes, if you draw the letter, right? Okay, adding the letter to the reduction number in what instance where I took a letter like M because it's in the vowel house of sounding of E, I'll go 13 minus what the sound is like. If I use the word hope, right? I'm going to put the H-O sounding O, but if I put the word have, I'm going to go 8 and 1 equals to 9 instead of H and O equaling to 23. And the reason, one of the reasons for this is because when you're talking, and I'm skeptical about saying this, when you're talking about 1 and 2, right, you should, right, this is your base creation, right, where 1 goes between 2. But if we're talking about this in binary code, I'm going to have to go from the first 0 over to the third 0 if I want to talk about this, right? But if I'm talking about 1 and 1, right, would I be talking about the first 2? That's my question, right? Because the only one that I have next to it in binary code is this. 1, 2, 3 binary code is this way, not this way. The second area in binary code is empty. If this had to be binary code, I'd go 1 and 4. I would equal to 5. If I went these two, okay, over here, I'd end up with 3. If I just put a dot in the center over here, it would be 2. Most of the 2's on this cube are empty. There's only 2's that are filled, and it's over here. It's the only ones that's filled, this area over here. The 2 area and the 8 area. 2 and 8 and 4 and 6. 2 and 8, 4 and 6. It's the only time it's filled, that area. So out of the 33 void, right, there are 2 areas. There's only going to be 31 void. There's only going to, of the 33 void, right, it's going to be, I don't know how to say this. It should be, let me make it 35 void. 35 void reduced down into 33 void because of these 2 over here in this area. So what we have is we have 3 void at the heart position, and we have 30 void in every other position, right? You see there's 4 here, there's 4 here, 1 here, 1 here, 1 here, 1 here. There's 4 here, that's 12. Now we have 4 here is 16. We have 4 here, we have 4 here is 20, right? We already know we have 30 void, 3 and 30. And there was an equation for that, and I think it can be 1239 on the clock. Let me see, do I do that? Yeah, 1239 on the clock works. 1230 on the clock works. 1248 on the clock works. 1257 on the clock works. 12, 12, and the clock works, right? And then there's going to be a whole bunch of situations. The reason for this is when you look at 12 and the clock, 1 and 2 is 3, and then 9 and 3 is 12, 1 and 2 is 3. We end up with 3 and 3 on that clock. Or was I looking for 33? Which number was I looking for? The piece of mail, you know, if I take a look, let me take a look at that piece of mail you sent here. Well, actually, what happens in the piece of mail over here is this piece ends up covering the lower part of the box. I can probably put two eyes over here, right? The top part, right? The top part overlaps the bottom part. It closes the envelope. This top piece closes over the bottom of the envelope. I'm not happy that I can't turn my camera around, but I will show it. So anyways, we were talking 5 minutes ago, okay, about these numbers. I'm going to turn the camera around again. Right? So this is what it is. When you're connecting your 3, 6, and 9, the three things you're connecting is your combinations of numbers. Your 1, 4, 7 with your 2, 5, 8. Your 1, 4, 7 with your 3, 6, 9. Your 2, 5, 8 with your 3, 6, 9. Then what happens is you have the ABC coming together, right? Your ABC, see the combinations? You'll have 6, 6, and 6 equals to 3 boxes containing 6 numbers equals to 18, even though they're combinations. The A and B box will have 6 numbers and 6 numbers. The B and C box will have 6 numbers and 6 numbers. The A and C box will have 6 numbers and 6 numbers. Each one will create a star. Then what we're going to do is we're going to connect box with AB with BC. Does that work? Because if I do, I get double lapping B. It doesn't work. This is the only way it works. Right over here. These are my combinations. When you do that, you end up so you end up with this. Each one of these lines, right? Let me write it out again. 1, 4, and 7, 2, 5, and 8. And this is 1, 4, and 7. No. This is 2, 3, 6, and 9, and 4, 7, and 1. Yeah, so let me show you this. You see the way the different ones pointed in 2 different directions? You see the way there's the huge open gap over here, right? Well, what it is you see these 2 are one number next to each other. Here I skipped an area of numbers. So when you're going to connect 1, 4, 7, okay, with 3, 6, 9, or 1, 4, 7 with 2, 5, and 8, and that's going to be the same thing as when you do it over here. 1, 4, and 7 in a row. 2, 5, and 8 in a row. Your basic vibration runs off of this. Any one of these 3 coming into effect. They're absolutes. Anyways, I'm getting a little tired. I think we're gonna end this video. If you got any questions, I'm quite sure there's a few things we didn't speak about. Again, the humane, the hand of light, the ET, the DNA, the connecting of the moons. It's an absolute. I would love and like or love whatever you want to work on, and we talked about love a little bit earlier on. The reason what it is, and it's the coming togethers and the automatic jack hook in order to create. You know what I'm saying? Anyways, they banned me for 3 days on TikTok from going live. They said I spoke about gambling, and I read their guidelines, and I don't get it. I don't talk about gambling. This is for entertainment purposes only. I talk about material as, look, I saw it in a book. It says Mars. Look, I see it's the alphabet. Look, it's a hockey game. Look, it says the word casino. It's not a casino, it's just a word. Casinos have games, okay? All the games are set up so the house wins according to the Google search engine that I did. So I can only talk about what I read online, and what I do is I show the differences of everything I see. But for now, peace and love. Thank you for watching, okay? And my coffee's ready. Cheers. I'll be back again very shortly.